welcome to PNG Technologies. We are a supplier of custom propane and natural gas kits for generators. Today we're going to be showing you the GenMax. This is the GM9000iED inverter. We're going to show you the propane steps on it, and then we'll show you the natural gas, and we'll go ahead and get started on that. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and remove the cover and get access to the inside. These are 8 millimeters here, just 3 of them. Go ahead and set that to the side. I always just put the screws back in it, just so I don't run into a problem at the end. And what we got to do is we got to get access to the air cleaner, because we're going to put our slim adapter in here. Now, if you can see in there, I know it's kind of difficult. Let me zoom in a little bit here. And you cannot take the screw out of the air cleaner to get to the filter. So we're going to show you how to be able to get to that to make it a little bit easier, because we're going to need to do this anyway to install the adapter. So we'll show you that step. Okay, first thing we're going to have to do is remove the bar that you move this around with. Now this is 14 millimeter on this. We'll go ahead, remove this one here. Okay, and then we'll remove this one here. Slide those bolts out. We'll set that to the side. Now what we got to do is remove this cover, okay, to get access to the inside. And there's even still a little bit more to remove after that, but what we're going to do is go ahead and remove this panel, okay. There are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, okay. Make sure you don't lose your screws. This one's a little bit more difficult to put the screws back in it. So just be careful as you pop them out. Watch for your screws. Okay. And be gentle. You don't want to crack this. Once you get it going, it's okay. And then just go ahead and set that to the side. All right. Now we have to remove this portion here. Now, there was 2 down here, or 1 down here, I'm sorry, or actually 2, but that's what accepts the cover back on. So we'll go ahead, there's 3 of them on this. 1, 2, and then this 3rd one over here. And that will allow us to pull this board out, okay? All you're gonna do is pull it out, set it to the side, okay? Now you can see the air cleaner. So we'll go ahead and show you the next steps. All right, now what we'll do is go ahead and remove the cover. You got the screw on the bottom, they just clip off the top. Pull that to the side, you got a filter in there, and then you got a little metal plate that keeps the air cleaner from sucking in on it. So go ahead and set that to the side, and then I'll go ahead and show you the next steps. All right, now that we've got everything out of here, what we're gonna do is remove the 2 nuts up here. These are 10 millimeter. Go ahead and get them off. My hands will be in the way on some of this. I can't help it, but I'm just removing these 2 nuts here. Get that one off. We got 1 more here. And then there's a metal plate there. We're going to take that off. We're not going to reuse that metal plate. We'll just put the nuts back on. And the reason we're not going to use it is because that way we don't have to back these studs out. So we'll go ahead, that's that step. We're going to take it to the other side here now, and then I'll show you that step. All right, now what we're going to do is go ahead and pull the clamp off here. Pull our hose off. Pull the hose out of the top and just kind of tuck them. Well, that one pulled out, but it'll pop back on, and then just tuck it back up in there. Okay. And then in the back here, there's a vibration bracket. Okay, it's a 6mm. Go ahead and loosen that one up. And this is a bolt back here. Alrighty, now we can remove, remember you got that plate in there. So, see the plate right there. Okay, now, I mean, you can come this way or this way with it. It makes it really nice and convenient, but you think they'd make that a little bit easier to change that filter. That's one design there that's going to be challenging. But, I mean, it's doable. It's nothing that can't be done. So, alrighty, we'll go ahead and show you the next steps. Alright, now what we're going to do is install our slim adapter on there. This injects the fuel into the intake. Okay, now there's already a gasket on here they supply. So we'll go ahead and line that up. And then we'll give you an extra gasket here. Go ahead and put that on. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and get our cover back on here. So we're just reversing the steps we did for the removal. So you can see I took the plate off. Okay, so we don't want to lock nothing quite down yet because we still got the back to go. So let's go ahead and we're just going to snug everything up here. See, if you had kept that metal plate on there, then you'd have to back the studs out with some vice grips. That plate is on there basically just to keep you from cracking this. So just be careful here. All right, that's nice and good. Now we'll go ahead and get our plate back in there. Okay. Again, this is to keep the air cleaner from sucking in there. Sucking it back up in there. So get that on. Get our cover on. Boy, if I wouldn't been able to remove this front portion, this would have been an undoable situation. But thank goodness we were able to bring this out like this. So, all right, that's that step. Tighten that up. Alrighty, and that's that. We'll go ahead and reverse over to the side here and show you that. Okay, now that we've got the front all done, we can go ahead and get everything connected back on here. Get this back on. Get this top hose pushed back down in there. Just turn that a little. I moved it. All right, there we go. Now, if you remember in the back here, we had the spacer. I'm going to move the camera over a little bit. Apologize for this. Okay. Back here we had that space. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you a spacer and a longer bolt back here. Well, thank goodness the front's removed again, so I could just kind of slide it back in there. Get the bolt in there. Oop. And just go ahead and put that back in. And again, I know my fingers are going to be in the way, but that way it's back secure. And it makes it easier too to install the hose on here when we do that. Okay, we'll go ahead and tighten that down. And this is a 10mm again here. All right, it's good and tight. That's that step there. We'll go ahead and show you the next one. All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to install a bulkhead fitting in this lower portion right here, okay? There's clearance in the back. There's foam back here. Don't worry about it. It's okay. You might rip it a little bit, but you ain't going to hurt nothing. And the reason we're doing this is because obviously we got to have our fuel supply coming to the inside, And instead of cutting through the door, if you want to ever get to that or get into it, you can without having to have a hole drilled through the door. So we're going to install this right here. And I use a step drill bit. And basically all I'm doing is centering this portion right here. Okay? So you're going to come right in this area here, just along where the screw hole is. Go ahead and drill your hole there. Okay? Remember, you do have that foam in the back. You're not going to hurt anything. And then we'll just see if that clears it. If that's enough. That'll work. So that's perfect. So what we're going to do is, you can see that foam was there. That's okay. It's easier because we're going to slide this in the inside. Put this fitting on first because you're not going to be able to turn anything in there, okay? So what we'll do is we want to put the hose on and kind of make sure that the hose is, you know, because it's going to have a bend in it. So just make sure you slide it with the bend up that way, okay? And we'll get a clamp on here. Okay. Tighten that down. Alrighty, that'll work there. And then what we're going to do is just slide this in the back. Okay, and you got both access to each side, so it makes it nice. Let's go ahead, press that through. There it goes. And that's just that foam making it a little difficult back there. And go ahead and get the lock washer on. Get the nut started here. Being a bear on me here. Might have to cut some of that foam. Oh, there we go. That'll work there. That'll grab. All right, perfect. Okay, now this is 1 inch. You can either use a crescent wrench, or if you have a 1 inch, go ahead and snug this down. This just makes it nice and clean, and you don't have just a hole. You got a bulkhead fitting holding it, you know. So let's go ahead and tighten that. Just making sure the fitting doesn't turn in the back. Okay, give her a good little snug. Okay, now what we'll do is we're going to install a fitting here that's going to go up. Okay, and we'll supply you some pipe compound. It'll be a small tube, but use the liquid. I never recommend tape, especially with an alternative fuel, because you're orificed. Okay, just hopefully that doesn't spin in the inside on me. It looks like it's going to want to, so we're going to have to snug this up a little bit more. There we go. Just kind of hold that on there and bring that up. Okay, got that. We'll show you the next steps. Okay, now that we've got that installed, everything looks good. It's nice and clean. Go ahead and get our clamp up on this side. Slide that up on there. We'll get this tightened down. And that will be them steps there. All right. Let's bring that up a little bit. I came down too far on it. There we go. You don't gotta, you're only dealing with 6 ounces of pressure here, so that's nice and clean. Make sure you got no kinks here, nothing back there. It looks all good. That finishes that step. We'll move on to the next. Alrighty, now that we got everything done there, we'll go ahead and get the board back up in here. Again, we're just reversing steps here again, so just make sure all the holes line up good. That's crucial, especially on this bottom one. have to push this in a little. You see it's away? Just kind of hold it in a little bit when you get to the next ones, when you put the bolts in. So we got that. Let's go ahead and get our cover back on. Thing lined up. See, that's where I'm saying this back here, when you go in, sometimes it's stubborn. Almost would be nice just to have that bolt run in there to hold it in on you, you know, but they don't do it that way. So it's kind of hard to force that up and set in there. Right. Try it again and see if we're close. Okay, it's lined up there. Let's see if we can go ahead and pull it in. No, not gonna pull in that one. See if we can get it to pull in a little here. There we go. Just being stubborn there, this one. Just that one back piece is all what's causing it. There it goes. Okay. Get this one in. That'll help pull that too. All right, and we're not going to put these two in because that's where we're going to mount our bracket. Again, that thing's being stubborn. See if we can pull this one in first. There, that did it. Get these in. Alrighty, now we'll go ahead and show you the next steps. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and install our regulator assembly. This will all become mounted for you, everything will be done for you. We're going to give you longer hardware for this. This is why I told you not to put these two in down there, because that's where these are going to go. Okay? Those, tighten those up. There's a nice little setup there. And we'll go ahead, and the next step, we'll go ahead and put the bars back on. We'll get that done there. Go ahead and try to adjust the camera up here a little bit so you can see that. And then we'll get this ready. Okay. We got one here. You gotta pull that open. You can kind of just press it in there. Oh. Okay. Get our nut on there. And we'll do the same over here. Hold that. There we go. Get that one on. Tighten that up. These are 14s up here, just so you know. That's that step there. Now we'll go ahead and get the other hose hooked up. We'll show you that step and get the cover on, and we'll run it here in a little bit. All right, now that we've got everything installed, we're going to go ahead and get our hose assembly over here to this. Go ahead and slide that on. And you still got room when this comes down. We'll go ahead and get this one on. See, that makes for a really nice clean setup. You don't have to worry about the door. Alright, and our last step before we go ahead and run this baby, the only screws I was able to put in were these three. Alright, go ahead and get the cover back on. Those tightened. And we'll go ahead and get ready to run this. Alright, now what we're going to do is hook it up to propane and run it with the kit. If you buy the propane kit, it'll come with all the connections, everything you got. It gives you the options of the swivel, or if you want quick connect. A lot of people like to quick connect. You know, it's just a lot easier, but this isn't so bad here. Go ahead and tighten this up. I always make sure the valve's shut off. Turn your propane tank on slow. Set it on the ground. Okay, now your adjustment's going to be your power elbow here. We'll set them as close as we possibly can. I always just kind of loosen them up so I can turn it. On the back of this unit is the primer button. You want to make sure that this is set for the propane, not the gasoline, because then that will incorporate gasoline and natural gas or propane into the system if you do this. So let's go ahead and turn the main switch on. Hit the start up. That should kick one more time. It's normally got a recycle on. Now in is lean, out is rich on this. So bring it in, you'll hear it stumble. Okay, bring it back out. Oh, she died on me. Alright, try that one more time here. Hit the button. Then go ahead and lock it down. You might have to adjust that according to load. Shut the fuel off, we're ready to go. We'll show you the next step. Alright, that shows you the step on the GenMax. This is GM9000iED inverter. Basically ran it on propane. Now this is a dual fuel unit. Most people will buy the natural gas kit from me. You need to make sure your outlet pressure coming out of your house meter. 4 ounces and 6 ounces normal. We've ran into a lot of 4 ounces, so you just got to double check that. That way we send you the correct regulator. Now if you purchase the natural gas hose with us, it will come with the quick connects. You can buy it with the dust caps or without, and then we would install this fitting, the male side, and then you would just connect it to it, and then you got it set. So again, I appreciate you watching this video. I hope it works out. I hope you like it. If you do, please hit the like button below. If you're interested in purchasing this kit from us, you can go to our website at PNG Technologies.com, or we could be reached at 734-992-2648. Again, thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.